You may only want to forget this year and leave it behind you. I get it. But this was a year that you lived. All the effort, the time you've invested, and experiences you've come through were part of your precious life that you'll never get back. So don't you think it's worth taking it all in? Hello, and welcome to the Connect podcast. This show is all about helping you connect to your soul's calling so you can take action on it. Because the sweetest success is a blend of discovering your purpose with the inner drive to bring it to life. I'm Sheila, health coach, lifestyle entrepreneur, and mom of two, best known for my online wellness programs, mentoring, and self-love passion. Listen in for inspiring interviews, solo chats, and Q&A sessions that will move you past overwhelm towards what lights you up. Stop accepting good enough and go for your version of great in your health, business, and relationships. Let's get started. Hey, it's Monday, and I have a message for you that you may not be used to hearing at the start of a new week. Instead of running wild every second of this week to maximize all you want to accomplish by the end of the year, I invite you to clear a bit of space to slow down. Yes, I said it. Just days before Christmas. Slow down and give yourself a few moments to reflect on the year you've just come through. You may only want to forget this year and leave it behind you. I get it. But this was a year that you lived. All the effort, the time you've invested, and experiences you've come through were part of your precious life that you'll never get back. So don't you think it's worth taking it all in? This time of reflection may be emotional for you, depending on all that happened for you this year. Or maybe it was a better year than you expected. Or maybe like most of us, if you actually take space to look back, you'll see that it was a mixture of both good stuff and tough stuff. Either way, you'll get to look at the strength and tenacity you've developed this year, flexing with ever-changing ways of living, pivoting your life, work, or business, and learning a whole new way of life. In the culture we live in, forward motion and success are the things we're socialized to focus on. The struggle, the disappointments, and the times we've stumbled are often swept under the rug as a result. But those dark times have so many lessons in them, don't you think? This is where we can trace a pattern of habits or decision that weren't the best for us and hopefully learn from them. This not only helps us hopefully avoid repeating the scenario, it can also help us share the lesson for others to learn from. And again, while this year was not what anyone expected, there were still good moments, times of growth and unexpected wins. But you'll only see these if you look back for them. Let me give you a few of my mixed reflections of the past year to get your memory flowing. I had some intentions for 2020 to include more in-person meetings and events, hot yoga classes with friends, more regular social gatherings, and travel that included a 3-week trip to Portugal with my family, including a week of camp at a prestigious European football club for my son. I remember the excitement I felt as I wrote out my plans and the research Peter and I did as we planned our accommodations and excursions in Lisbon and the Algarve. It was a cold winter at the time, so we were extra motivated. We got it all booked, and weeks later, the world shut down. Around the same time, as I mentioned in my podcast trailer, my father passed away in Asia at the end of February. I was not at all expecting to be dealing with foreign consulates and government representatives all throughout the spring. And nothing prepares us, any of us, for the loss of a parent. So like many people, my social calendar opened up dramatically. Maybe your time became even more pressed with needing to transition your office and or your kids' schooling to your home. You may have needed to take on even more work and responsibility this year. As I look back on the good things that happened in my life this year, in spite of some sad and really disappointing events, here's what I see. Gratitude for a deepened faith practice. Gratitude to be able to look back on the good memories with my father. That I got to have Peter and the boys at home with not too much difference in our daily routine since they were already home educated. An easy startup for virtual high school. My youngest's guitar lessons went virtual with no delay. My oldest improved his soccer freestyling skills with practices on hold. Both boys had closer connections to each other. I did some back office upgrades to my website and systems that I never have had time for. I planned out and launched my podcast, finding interviewing guests so accessible since they were happy for the connection and they were home, available in their home offices to talk. A last-minute cottage getaway to a quiet northern Ontario town. Another few socially distanced visits with friends that may not have been possible otherwise. 2 walks a day on my own and with my family. And so many more things. But most of all, space. Less rushing and more focus on what to be grateful for, because it's easy to miss those things when you're too busy. Remembering all of this makes me take a deep breath. It reminds me that the days go by fast, and if we're not intentional with how we use them, in spite of what's going on in the outer world, years will just pass us by and we'll feel like we missed our life. Savoring the experiences of each year allows you to relive the good memories and be reminded of lessons learned. It can be truly transformational if you make it a practice. So I invite you to open your calendar, your journal, or your photo app and look back on your year. Take in all that you experienced. See what comes up for you. It might also help you to decide what you'd like your focus to be for the coming year. As you do, I'm praying God's best blessings on you and yours. See you next time. Thank you so much for being here with me on the Connect podcast. If you like this episode, please share it with someone you think would enjoy it. Also, if you head over to iTunes to leave a review, I'd be so grateful. Let us know what your favorite parts were and what you'd like to hear more of. It will help us have a greater impact, elevating many more people to grow and succeed together. See you next time.